is fascinating stuff. So since I'm in Texas, I figured what better opportunity than to talk with some more of the drone folks who cover some of the most important and exciting sites here. You know, places like the SpaceX Starlink manufacturing facility and the Boring Company out here in Bastrop, Texas. I'm Brian. Welcome to My Tesla Weekend. So, Chap, what are we going to do?
Let's do a drone flight. We're here in the field in front of my house, across from the Boring Company. I do have to flip the drone on.
Oh yeah, that's probably helpful.
Yeah. Okay, we're rolling.
Got some trees.
So there's my house, my driveway, and here's Boring Company.
Oh wow, we are right on top of it.
So yeah, this is they call it Snail Brook.
Mm-hmm.
2, 4, 6.
Now, how many, this was a field, this was a cow pasture.
Yep.
And how many houses were there before they moved in?
There was one little cabin. It's in that group of trees in the top left.
Okay.
That was there. And all this is new since May 2021. You can kind of get a sense of what else is here.
Built a real community.
Yeah.
And no city water yet?
So there is a utility water that comes in off the state
beeping
road.
is them that I can hear.
That's their beeping. Yep, that's a new thing. But they do have water. They
have city water?
Yes, coming in. And then here is their current water treatment setup. It's this little package plant system that includes a spray field. And we've had some recent rain, but you can see these are basically sprinkler heads that spray the treated effluent back there on the field. And
is that legal?
That is legal. They have a permit to do that up to 5,000 gallons with the county. But across the street is SpaceX or Starlink assembly, I think is what they're doing here. Mm-hmm. And so that's going to be more water. And so we are about halfway through them getting their permit to build a bigger plant there.
A bigger treatment plant?
Yeah.
Nice.
And the city is about 4 miles away, and the city is actually opposing that plan and wants to run service out here. And so I think that's likely to happen. But this is the Starlink facility. And then here in the top right, you can see the river. This is the Colorado River, and they own this floodplain where it drops off all the way here to the river. And if you go about 15 miles up the river, you get to Giga, Texas. So that kind of
It is a really short drive. If you get a chance to come to see Giga, Texas, you should spend the extra 15, 20 minutes and come out and see Hyperloop Plaza, about which there'll be a whole video as well.
Yep. And so this is the back of SpaceX. They've got food trucks and
neat
housing. The other thing you'll see is the trailers there parked along this building about the middle of the screen. That's and at the bottom here, these are porta potties, really nice porta potties. And the reason they have to do that is because their wastewater permit, they're still working through that.
And they're taking their sweet time with getting their permits all lined up. And they are kind of steamrolling ahead a bit. Would be nice to be a little more proactive on those. There we've got Proof Rock 1 and 2 holes. Yes?
Yeah, I think it actually might be, you might be one, yeah. The numbers get tricky because I've also heard and seen 3 out here, but I'm not sure which one was in the hole. But those are just 500 feet and they pop out here on the other side. We're back to Boring Company.
Now, go back a little bit because there was, behind you, was the conveyor system I wanted to ask you about. That is an accordion out kind of conveyor belt for spoil?
Yeah, exactly. It just holds like a really long belt, and the reason you need it long is because it has to reach all the way into the tunnel to grab that muck and that dirt and the other things that come out with that and pull it out. And they're doing, these are the tunnel wall segments. You can see some hexagonal, which is an interesting development and a different technique. And then they do these towers contain the bentonite and some other material that they used while actually doing the tunnels.
Interesting. Now, here's a question I have for you viewers. Where do the bricks go? You know, they on display in the Hyperloop Plaza is an example of one of the bricks that they produce from the spoil. And those could, who knows, those could end up somewhere. Surely they must be somewhere, or maybe that part of the plan's on hold. If anybody can find, I'd love to see where those bricks have gone. Yeah.
Yeah, I've talked to inspectors because at least here they're not making bricks, they're actually just spreading it around the property, all the dirt as fill, and I've got some videos of that. And talking to inspectors, it's basically an industrial waste. And
Yeah, I don't think you'd want to just, I mean, the dirt's gonna have, you know, lubricant and stuff. I don't think you'd want to do that with it, so hopefully that's not something they're going to do.
Yeah.
Hyperloop Plaza, looking good.
Here's the plaza.
And now we're gonna fly back.
So yeah, there's the sign, and we can just come back home here. We're kind of up here on the hill and
Yeah.
see it all.
And we won't show that part. We won't show the part where we show where his actual house is. That's
Why not? Everybody else does.
Everybody else?
They're,
Oh,
in,
do they
they're in
really?
everybody else's
Oh, really?
videos.
Oh, I see. Well, yeah.
And this is the truck liner. So part of their mission is to basically increase tunneling speed by 10%. And
10% or 10-fold?
Sorry, 10x. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right. And so part of that is delivering wall segments and working at the front of the tunnel. And the longer the tunnel gets, the faster that has to be. So I think that they're using that to test different techniques there.
Interesting.
That red candy stripe.
Okay, where are we? Here we go. That is fascinating stuff. You know, when you're out shooting at Giga Texas, the drones are dead silent on account of how noisy the highway is. Because Joe and I were out there shooting. That video's probably already gone up, just screaming at each other as trucks barrel past at 80 miles an hour, which is the speed limit. Yeah. Do you know what the stretch of highway, the San Antonio Expressway, do you know what the speed limit is? 85.
Oh, yeah.
Which means everyone's going 95. So if you're concerned about battery range, don't take the San Antonio Expressway, because you'll get about 120 miles to a charge. I don't know what it is, but it's got to be a little brutal. Oh, well, thanks for giving us that tour of it. Sorry the battery didn't last longer, but it's very interesting and exciting stuff. What would you guys like to know about the Boring Company's place there? About what they're building, what they're doing? If you saw something in the video, a detail that you'd like explained, hey man, we can do that. I'm sure we can. There are still some frustrations in the community. They do have the Hyperloop Plaza. How do you guys feel about the plaza?
I think it's great.
Tell us what it has and what you love about it.
It is 70 seconds from this gate to their parking lot. So that is a huge plus for me and my family. They've got great coffee, great sandwiches. Brian, the guy running it, is super friendly, and they stock a lot of stuff that's hard to find out here. So I think it's a great place to go and to hang out and to kind of see what's going on.
For those of you who were lucky enough to see my vertical live stream of the Hyperloop, yeah, they've got some unique chocolates out there. They've got some, the frozen pizzas look like the best I've ever seen. They've got some good stuff. And again, having it this close, and it's a big enough space that you guys can actually hang out. You can actually do stuff there.
Mm-hmm.
And they do have Wi-Fi that you can use. I assure you, because I have used it. And you know, there's things they can do better, and hopefully they will. You know how it is. It's just like at a lot of the facilities. Elon prefers to ask for forgiveness than permission because it speeds things up. And
Debatable.
well,
In the long term, I'm not sure, and maybe in the short term.
you know, it's funny you say that, because Joe and I were talking about how much concrete rework there has been at Giga Texas. And,
Same here.
oh, really? It's just constant, yeah.
I call it agile development, where you only plan a couple weeks ahead and deal with the consequences.
At Giga Texas, they put in a concrete building where they were going. It was either the crash building or the Wade pit, and in a span of a month, they had dug it, rebar, concrete, demolition, rebar, concrete. In a span of a month.
It's cheaper and faster in CAD. I don't know why you wouldn't do it there first.
Yeah, and they have had problems at Giga Texas with permits where they submit incomplete ones because you can always revise them later. But there's a degree, you reach a point where the city just says, look, these are desperately incomplete. The grades aren't even correct on this.
I think people are starting to catch on, yeah.
Yeah. Well, and it depends if it's... People are, and I think that's why we haven't seen the permit applications in Mexico, is because they haven't, as of the last investor call, the earnings call, they said, we are nearing completion of the design for the factory in Mexico, and you can't build the factory until you've got the plans. And, I mean, you can...
I know an interesting tidbit about the big SpaceX building. I was told they actually designed that building, bought all the parts before they knew what site it was going to go to.
Oh, it's just a box.
Right.
And it's not that big.
It's the biggest building in the county.
Yeah, but it's the biggest building in Bastrop County. Giga Texas is sufficiently large that you do have to know the shape of the land first.
True.
Because, poof. But that land that they have out there is between 2,500 and 3,200 acres, depending how you're counting it, which is, larger than Vatican City. So take that, Pope. It's okay. He's infallible. He doesn't mind. So what did we miss? What did we misunderstand? Chap, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate the opportunity to come out and see it all in this beautiful Texas weather that we're having. It's actually brisk. I brought the weather with me. So like, comment, subscribe, do whatever you got to do. I appreciate your support. It's why I'm able to get out here and do this and see all these great people. And for everybody else, stay tuned, stay juicy, and I cannot wait to hear from you. Clever robots, perhaps in person?